Good Morning Washington, on your side.
Well, the holidays are a time to spend with family, but what if that family has split up? Divorce, it can lead to a sense of loss for partners and also for the children. Traditions change, and it can be quite an adjustment for everybody. So here with some ways to keep the spirits high over the holidays are attorneys Carlos Lastra and Tracy Coates. Good to see both of you. Welcome to Good Morning Washington. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. So this is supposed to be the happiest time of the year, but here families that are facing, separation, divorce, being split, it affects not only the couple, it affects the whole family. So what are some ways that it makes this whole time of the year a little bit easier for families like that, Tracy?
The holidays are a wonderful time of the year, as you already said, but I think sometimes when parents are going through the divorce process, they're focusing on the wrong thing. They're focusing on the loss of time or the loss of the holiday instead of focusing on perhaps new traditions and time spent with their children. And so a lot of the times, I can't tell you how many times I have been in court on the eve before a major holiday and we're arguing about, a couple of hours. So I think one of the things that parents can do and that I often instruct my clients to do is perhaps think about the schedule in advance. Think about some ways that you can work with one another in order to make this really about your children.
And that's so true. And Carlos, a lot of times in divorce situations, there's a lot of anger there.
Absolutely.
How do you deal with that?
Well, that's part of the issue. Divorced parents often dwell in their past, and oftentimes they believe they're in a situation they don't deserve. And if angry, they're going to interfere with the time between their ex and the children, especially during the holidays, to settle the score.
Yeah.
And, sometimes when that happens, it's sort of like the Grinch, where his heart grew 2 sizes too small.
Yeah.
And if you're bitter and divorced, you may end up turning into the Grinch, and no one wants to be the Grinch.
And what are some of the ways that anger manifests itself? Are we talking about like withholding time with the children from the other couple, that kind of thing?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sometimes parents will bicker in front of their kids, and that's going to make it rough on your kids. And depending on the circumstances, rougher on you, especially if you end up in court. Tracy and I advise our clients to take the higher road, which is the better road. But if you're going to do that, do it in writing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a good way to also capture if you're in the middle of the divorce process and you are the parent sort of withholding time or doing things that's not in the children's best interest. Just think that down the road, you're a judge or somebody who's going to be looking at that communication in the way that you're behaving.
Sometimes it's hard to move on, isn't it?
It is.
Time heals, of course. What are some of the biggest mistakes that you think divorced couples make this time of the year?
I think some of the biggest mistakes is that thinking that they have to sort of keep up with their family and friends. And although this is definitely the time for families to be celebrated, I think sometimes it's good just to sort of reflect on what it is that you need as a family, as an individual, but also don't not go to the holiday party or get together with friends, because you need that as well. And I think sometimes after the holiday season, that may be a time. Carlos and I see an influx of individuals that come to us after the holiday season that are now ready to sort of, if you're not already in the divorce process, to move forward with it.
But you may not feel like being in a party mood, right? But you're saying push yourself a little bit, get out there?
Exactly, especially if you have children. I had someone recently tell me that they are definitely not in the festive holiday spirit, but they have a little one, and that is helping her sort of get her mind right and get her own spirits up so that she can be the parent that child needs.
You got to put the kids first.
Yeah.
The holidays is such a big part of growing up, and you want to make sure that you're creating wonderful memories for your children and avoiding bad ones.
That is such a great attitude. Always want to put the kids first, because
Absolutely.
Ultimately it is about them. But sometimes it feels like this tug of war, and when children are in the picture, everybody wants to see them on Christmas Day. There's only one Christmas Day, though. Something's got to give, right?
Absolutely. In the United States, we have 4 million divorced parents, and oftentimes they're going to be dividing the holidays right down the middle. And you're not going to get Christmas Day every year necessarily.
All right, we'll have to let that be the last word.